Let's just get one thing straight. Most people never actually meet themselves. They meet their habits, their persona, their coping mechanisms. They meet the version of themselves that was shaped by fear, guilt, trauma, culture. But the true self, the deeper I behind the roles and expectations, that version often dies undiscovered. And Jung would argue, that's the real tragedy. Jung called this lifelong journey individuation. Not perfection, not success, not status, but the sacred process of becoming who you actually are beneath the noise. It's not about adding more, it's about peeling away everything that isn't you. But here's the catch. You can't become yourself until you confront the self you've been pretending to be. Most of us are living behind a mask, what Jung called the persona. It's the version of you crafted to survive the world. The charming one, the agreeable one, the high achiever, the people pleaser. The problem? You can get so good at performing the persona that you forget there's someone underneath it. And then one day you wake up. You've got the job, the house, the routine. But something feels off, like you're watching your life instead of living it, like you've become a background character in your own story. That's not depression. That's your soul tapping on the glass, asking if you're ever going to come home. But you can't come home without confronting the part of you you've exiled, the shadow. The shadow is everything you were told not to be. Too loud, too sensitive, too weird, too angry, too ambitious, too emotional. So you pushed it down, you hid it away, you performed a version of yourself that was easier to love. But here's the paradox. You can't become whole without the parts you buried. You don't find yourself by avoiding your darkness. You find yourself by walking into it, with eyes open and heart steady. Because here's what no one tells you. You don't just lose your path. You lose you. Carl Jung said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. And he was right. We'll chase relationships, addictions, careers, constant stimulation, not because they fulfill us, but because they distract us. We don't heal, we scroll. We don't reflect, we stay busy. We don't feel, we overfunction. Because stillness is dangerous. Stillness might mean hearing the voice you've been avoiding, but the soul doesn't give up. It whispers, then it shouts, then it breaks things. The anxiety, the numbness, the late-night panic attacks. Those aren't flaws, they're flares from your unlived life. The longer you ignore the real you, the louder your nervous system screams for help. And the truth is, it starts early. Your inner child, the original you, wasn't born disconnected. They felt things deeply, asked big questions, dreamed freely. But little by little, you learn to shut it down. Don't be too much. Don't make a scene. Don't be so sensitive. So you folded in on yourself. And now, you're the adult who's always tired, always performing, always almost happy. But here's the good news. That child never left. They're still in there, waiting for you to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. But modern life makes remembering almost impossible. You're praised for productivity, rewarded for people-pleasing, told to outsource your worth to likes, followers, money, or hustle. And if you're not careful, you'll mistake success for selfhood, burnout for purpose, validation for love. But Carl Jung warned us, the greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. That's what happens when people forget themselves. They pass down pain instead of presence. They raise others before raising their own soul. And the cycle continues until someone finally decides to break it. So the question is, will you be that person? Will you stop waiting for permission? Stop performing the role? Stop clinging to a version of yourself that's slowly killing you. Will you sit with the silence long enough to finally hear the call? Because there is a calling. Every soul has one. And the tragedy isn't that we can't hear it. It's that we're too busy, too distracted, too afraid to listen. You want to find yourself before it's too late? Here's the truth. You're not lost. You've just been buried, under expectations, under trauma, under survival, but the real you is still in there. And they're not asking for a miracle. They're asking for your attention. So slow down, get quiet, start peeling, and remember, you don't become yourself by adding more. You become yourself by remembering what you were before the world made you forget.